right, we are recording.
Okay. All right, so Jesse, here's the lowdown. I don't know if Annie brought you up to speed, but we're trying to get some additional use cases on the website to round out our portfolio.
Yep.
So you're slated with 3. I have an initial overview of Warner that is a little bit technical, so I just need to dial that out a little bit. But what we're looking to address is high-level overview, background of the company, so that I can reference it generally, industry, size, location kind of thing, or I can find that on the website if you don't have that off the cuff. But then the other 3 pieces are, kind of background of the challenge that the client was facing, what you came up with as a proposed solution, and then results. And the one thing I just want to caution you on is we want to make sure that we're writing this as if people are non-technical. So what I want to make sure we start to do is provide explanations for people outside of abbreviations. So I want to build kind of a glossary of data points for people that want to learn more about analytics but are not sure where to start. I think we're looking at it from a very technical, live in this world standpoint. So I want to, back us up a level to say, business intelligence versus financial planning. Like, I don't know which one of those I need. I know I want to do something with my data. So I want to be able to just, dial it up a couple of levels. And then as people have a better understanding of what they think they might need, then we'll go into deeper levels of content really in the blog or in, call to actions that we build, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let me try again with your email address. What's your email address?
It's KRUDY, KRudy at Market Design Co. MarketDesignCo.com.
Got it. All right. All right, so I just sent you a deck. Warner just spoke with us at a conference. So,
okay.
I mean, we've had so many case studies and conferences and things like that with Warner. I think that's a name you could just use on the website, and if they have a problem with it, we could take their name off later. But they speak with us so much, okay. I think we can use their name without much worry.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you think they would give us a quote?
So they've recorded webinars with us based on their presentations of them speaking. So you might, first and foremost, have the ability to extract quotes from that presentation, right? From that video that's recorded. So on our YouTube channel, okay. you'll see a case study for Warner. They have a new CIO who literally starts today, literally.
Oh.
And if I go ask any questions about quotes or case studies or references, that's going to go to some new guy, right? So I cannot go ask for anything in the short term, right? I think we just use what we have and kind of go under the radar because they've approved so much in the past. So,
okay,
that's fair.
The deck I just sent you, slide 27 is the most interesting.
Okay.
So there's a ton of slides in this about Warner, right? So your business background's all in this presentation as well at the beginning. So everything you
Okay.
need to know about Werner is there. And if you want to hear it in their own words, you can go watch Amanda describe Werner in that webinar that's recorded.
And
But
that's
slide
one of the
20.
ones. Oh, sorry, Jesse. That's one of the ones that you were repurposing content for anyway. That's the Werner climbs the ladder to IBM planning analytics
Yeah.
in the cloud. That's
Yeah.
that's the same one. So you have that information. Sorry, Jesse.
No worries. Yeah. So slide 27 touches on the things we're just helping with right now. These are the more interesting use cases in the financial performance management space. So we're working to build out a process that streamlines their demand planning, right? They make ladders. They got to ship ladders from China. They got to ship some ladders from Mexico. It has different lead times if you're ordering from China, right? They want to optimize pricing as part of that demand planning. So we're helping them build models to automate their demand planning processes, right? In an integrated fashion, so that when you have a demand plan, and the demand plan impacts a bunch of your other plans, right? We're trying to build a fully integrated plan with Plan Analytics for that.
Okay.
So these bullets are kind of, a lot of these are almost standard industry use cases that you could Google. Budgeting, forecasting, reporting. So that's financial reporting. That's literally creating P&Ls, financial statements, cash flows, balance sheets, things like that. Customer profitability, a company like this, understanding, how well they're doing at Home Depot. So to them, Werner, they're a CPG business. They're making stuff someone else is selling, right? So their customers are channels, right? Which, by the way, maybe a third of our businesses fall into that space. That are, customers are making things someone else is selling. So, Werner, to give you an idea too, they're a $2 billion company. They're the biggest name in ladders in the world, right? And they brand themselves as workplace safety and climbing equipment. So they've acquired companies over the years that align to that kind of under that umbrella. So earlier in the deck, you'll see information about that. So.
Gotcha. This is really good. I think this deck is really complete. The one thing I would just ask that I haven't seen in the literally 6 seconds I've been looking through this is how did you guys get connected and why? What was the initial challenge?
So I'll tell you I'll tell you the reality of selling and how I get in most of my accounts, and then we could talk about what's the best way to spin that. But so for me, I have a focused territory, right? And I identify every single customer that has IBM Analytics in my patch, right?
Okay.
And then I am actively working to break into all those accounts at all times to become their partner that they work with to solve problems with IBM technologies. So the reality is, I would do local events in Pittsburgh, got them to come to some of our local events, got them to come to some of our webinars. And eventually one day they were just like, Jesse, you want to quote this for me? And then they transitioned from their current partner to us maybe 5 years ago. So that was around, I would say, a software complexity that they didn't understand. So that was kind of my in, so, technical in, I guess you could say. And then since then, the reality is in the vast majority of our customers, the role LPA plays is there's an analytics manager in our customers, right, who is trying to solve problems for the business, right? That analytics manager treats us like a trusted advisor and works with us to help solve problems for their users, right? Their customers, their use cases. So, so that's how we got in there, selling to BI manager who had some challenges. We were able to help him with that. And then that opened the door to several projects that were more use case oriented like these. So.
Okay. And so to confirm, were they unhappy with the data they were getting out of the software when they bought it, or they were unhappy with the partner they were working with to get the software running?
I would say you could probably say both there.
Okay.
You know, the reality is the way that these guys were doing the use cases on slide 27 was spreadsheets.
Okay.
So for these specific use cases that we're helping solve, they were manual processes using spreadsheets. So that gets to spreadsheet hell use cases, which I think we've got entire decks that talk about all the challenges with spreadsheet hell, like multiple versions of the truth.
Right.
You know, it slows you down as an organization because you can't just rapidly change things, et cetera. So.
Okay, great. And I think there was another file. Oh, this is something else. Okay. Let me just look through here.
So Fernco, let's talk about Fernco, because I have nothing
Right,
for you for Fernco.
Okay, so hold on one second before we move off of Warner. What software did they have?
Play Analytics, Cognos, and then Netezza. And Netezza is a legacy name we should never ever use, but it's like IBM's data warehousing technology.
Okay. Okay. And so you didn't sell that, but you did do implementation
actually, we did sell. We've sold all those things. So.
Oh, you did.
So
okay. So
when they started, they just had Cognos, and we sold them everything else along the way. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And expanded Cognos as well. So.
Okay, but we really want to focus on consulting and implementation.
Yeah, I think your approach with use cases is spot on. I think this slide 27 is, from what you're trying to do, probably the most important. You know.
Yeah. Okay.
We're their trusted advisor, and they asked us to come help them with all those use cases. So.
Okay. Perfect. Do you have the SAL or recent SAL?
I'm not sure it would give you much insight.
Okay. What about the initial pitch to them? This is probably it, right? This is probably outlines their challenges and walks through. This is probably
not really. I mean, this deck gives you good Warner background, but the use case they really focus on, this supply chain one, is really down in the weeds. You know, they're talking about implementing, you know, a process to help their supply chain that's currently driven by Excel, and how they move that into Play Analytics. That's what the majority of this presentation is. That's not a very sexy use case. I think slide 27 are the sexy use cases. So what I could do, though, is I could send you. So we're in the middle of doing their financial performance management roadmap. And their lead guy as part of that roadmap is he basically created his vision and why he thinks they need all this stuff. So I gotta so if we look at that deck, that's the business selling point, why they need to go do all these use cases on slide 27.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. So I think that's some of the guts you're looking for, but that's stuff we need to be very. If there's anything that looks proprietary, that can't up on. We got to be very careful with that, right?
Right. Right.
But I'm pretty sure most of it's going to be very generic that applies to pretty much any CPG company. So Let me try
Okay.
to find this for you.
Okay.
I'm just trying to find that deck. Yeah, I'm just gonna open it and see just if I can narrow it down for you. We've got NDAs with you, I assume, correct?
With me?
Because a lot of this is NDA stuff with our customers.
Yeah.
So I just
Not yet.
right.
Not yet, but I'm talking to Scott this afternoon.
Let's just I mean, because I'm assuming he wants me to share everything with you as if you're an employee. So here. So I think this deck's a good one. So I'm gonna send you the whole deck.
Okay.
If you have any questions, if you think there's anything that sounds proprietary, or if you want me to review something before you actually publish it, send it to me, and then worst case, we'll just anonymize it, right?
Yep.
So. All right, so Fernco is basically the same. They're using demand planning, financial budgeting, forecast reporting. But that's what they're doing. So they're a CPG. They're a $300 to $400 million company. They make plumbing supplies that are available at Home Depot and Lowe's.
And do you have the same type of presentation
No,
or nothing? Okay.
nothing.
All right,
I
so
have
we'll put
nothing.
this one on the back burner. Okay, we'll put this
Yeah.
one on the back burner.
Yeah.
And move on to TWEC.
Yeah.
And so that one, Annie, I see you emailed me with an overview, presentation overview. Is this presentation done?
So that was after we did a major project for them a few years back. We submitted to speak at a conference. So that description is the submission. So that's the best description I have of what we did for them. That's going to be technical oriented, so I can help translate some of that. But the reality is they were on a legacy technology. Well, first, business background on Transworld, FYE stores. I mean, you're in Syracuse, so you probably are familiar with some of their stores. Have you been to FYE before?
Yeah,
for
they're no
your
longer
entertainment.
in Syracuse.
Yeah,
they're no longer in Syracuse. But
yeah, they're dying. They're like a Blockbuster, right?
yeah,
They're like a Blockbuster. What's saving them right now is stuff like selling frozen merchandise, Disney stuff, fast moving. Yeah, the in fad thing is where they make all their money. They make more money selling like a Disney stuffed animal than they do like a Xbox or a PlayStation, which is hard to believe. So they have other brands as well. They have several hundred stores that are out there, and they needed a system to help them manage their inventory in the stores, provide analytics around that, as well as analytics around their retail transaction data and customers. So this was a Cognos information server, information management, data warehouse solution that we did for them.
Okay. And they just wanted better reporting, or was it, for financial planning to pick out where they're going to open stores or what stores are not working, or?
Yeah. So what's the best way to spend? I mean, the reality is they were on Oracle and Oracle died, and it couldn't handle the amount of data they had now and things like that, right? So it was a technical migration was the primary driver to support many existing business processes. But as part of that, we certainly enhanced those processes.
Gotcha.
So what was
Okay.
the business objective of enhancing those processes? So anything merchandise planning oriented. So, any comments around being smarter about choosing the right products to put in stores and how to price them, I think we could argue we help support that. Better understanding of their customers,
Okay.
right? And that just gets into optimizing, you're right. So then you could extend that to marketing campaigns, everything else, right?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I guess inventory management, optimizing inventory, something like that. I think those are fair game, all those use cases. Store performance.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Any specifics? So would we roll this up to financial planning and business intelligence?
for Transworld, they do not own IBM's financial planning solutions. So Transworld is, I would say, more analytics focused there. So visualizations, business intelligence, that terminology, I don't know if that's a good terminology to use nowadays. You might know better than I do based on the research you did for our website. Visualizations is a more modern way of saying that, I think, but business intelligence probably more accurately describes it. I'd say things like visualizations, analytics, yeah, those are all
Okay.
for the subject areas of customer, inventory, store performance. I think those are all accurate.
Okay. Yeah, I think probably what we're going to do is start to associate analytics and visualization. Analytics, visualization, traditionally business intelligence, and start to educate the market. Okay. Okay. Let's see what I can come up with here.
Sure.
And we'll go from there.
Sounds good. All right. Well,
all right.
I'm
well,
pretty
thank you
busy
very
this
much for your
week,
time.
but probably next week if you do need to talk more. I mean, this is stuff that you like. What's the timeline here you're trying to work towards?
Today.
All right. Well, yeah, I probably have zero time for the rest of the day today.
No. That's fine. I'm gonna prioritize the ones that we have the most data on. I have a handful of other things I'm trying to work through today and tomorrow for you guys. So, we can always continue to refine these, but if we can get, Werner's got a lot.